Hello, and welcome again to Glass with a Class. I'm glad to see you, and I hope you're glad to be here. Today we'll see some pretty glass and talk briefly about the English language. So come on in, and let's get started. Remember last time when we talked about Platonite, and we said it's white glass, not milk glass, but actually white glass, that usually has fired-on colors? And I showed you this Platonite sugar bowl that has a fired-on peachy melon color. I think I mentioned that Platonite can also be decorated. Well, here is some Platonite that has decoration applied to it. This is a sherbet dish, and I believe this pattern is called Ovide by Hazel Atlas. Ovide is sometimes known as New Century. This pattern was actually made in the 1950s, so technically it's not depression glass, but it's collected by depression glass collectors like me who really love it. I really like the way that it has this pretty design that's not commonly found on most of our depression glass. Some of it is decorated, but most of it, at least most of what I collect, has no decoration. It's plain colored glass that gets its pattern from the mold used to create the piece. This was not the only decoration you can find on Platonite. This one is floral. As you can tell, it's got little flowers. As Gene Florence said in one of his books, Hazel Atlas used a gaggle of different patterns on this popular Platonite, including one of flying geese. Wish I had one of those. Maybe I'll get my hands on some of that gaggle of geese and other decorations and show them to you later. Let's set the Platonite aside and concentrate on our tiny English lesson. Does it bother you that some people use the phrase over yonder or down yonder? I hope not, but if it does, maybe you should consider the fact that William Shakespeare also used it, and he was a pretty educated fellow. Of course, yonder was part of the Old English language of his time. When he was writing Romeo and Juliet, he penned this sentence: "But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun." Now, I'm just going to lay this out right here. I'm not fond of Shakespeare. Maybe you are, but I'm just not. However, I do sometimes use the word yonder. Maybe because I'm from the South, and we tend to use lots of words that are not used anywhere else in the United States. But I'm sure that's also true for every other part of this beautiful country of ours. People everywhere have certain words that they use that are regional to their part of the country. I found the word yonder in the Bible, the King James Version, as you might suspect. It's in Numbers chapter 23, verse 15, and it says this: "And he said unto Balak, Stand here by thy burnt offering while I meet the Lord yonder." It fits in well with the Old English, doesn't it? Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and will join us next time to enjoy some more pretty glass and a tiny English lesson. God bless you and yours. Bye-bye.